What's poppin', and welcome back to another episode of Fletcher the Fisherman, guys. Today, I'm about to head out to go do a little bit of pond fishing, but it is brutally cold today. It is probably around like 32, 33 degrees right now, and that is the coldest it's been all year here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was quite a dip in temperature as well compared to like the last 4 or 5 days. It was probably in like the low 50s, high 40s, so it was quite a drastic weather change. So I think these fish are going to be pretty tough to catch today, but the good news is during the winter when it gets really cold, that is when you have some of your best opportunities to catch monster bass. So my fingers are crossed today that I can hopefully get the job done and catch myself a monster, but I'm just gonna have to get out there and see what happens. Like I said, guys, the conditions are pretty brutal, which is gonna make it a little tough, so I'm definitely gonna have to be a little bit more finessey with how I approach these bass today. I just hope the fishing gods are gonna be looking after me, but thankfully I got the new merch on to keep me warm, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Got the nice sweatshirt and the beanie. The only thing I gotta worry about is my hands. You know, might need to invest in some fishing gloves for the winter. That might be helpful, especially just since I don't have the best circulation in my fingers all the time. They get pretty cold pretty fast. But anyways, guys, I'll see you on the water. Whew, my hands are cold, but let's hop right into this, guys. We got 4 baits with me today. I have a shaky head right here, and then I have a square bill, just in a natural coral color, and then a bait I haven't quite used yet this year, and that is a blade bait. I'm excited to throw this quite a bit. I really think this could be a key bait for me today, and then a little chatterbait as well. I'm not sure how this is gonna fare. I really think that blade bait and this drop shot, or not drop shot, the shaky head over here are gonna be key, but I'm gonna get started with this crawl square bill right here, just to see if I can't get anything riled up this morning. There's a little bit of wind pushing back into this pocket. Not a whole lot, and just enough to maybe stir up a little bit of commotion. There's just a lot of leaves on the bottom of this pond, so I don't know how much this square bill is gonna work with me, unfortunately. And I could probably say the same for the blade baits, so I'm really just gonna have to find some areas that hopefully there aren't too many leaves. But oh my gosh, is it cold. It's like 30 something degrees right now. This is by far the coldest weather I've fished in so far this year. I am just not used to it. This thing's grabbing way too many leaves right now. At least this part of the pond, I'm not really gonna be able to fish this. So I'm gonna see if I can get away with that blade bait. The hooks are a little bit smaller, and the way I fish it doesn't tend to get as many leaves. So let me go ahead and pull this sucker off and make sure it's all ready to go. Seems like it's good to go. Let's fire that bad boy out there. And what I like to do with this, guys, is just let it hit bottom and then yo-yo this thing back. Hit bottom, just yo-yo it back up. All the way back. You know what, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and move down to the bottom pond of these 2 ponds, because that's usually where I have the most luck, and it's definitely where I have the most confidence this morning. So I want to go down there to see if I can find any kind of pattern on what these fish are actually doing this morning, see if I can find what they might want to bite, what they might want to eat. And once I figure that out, I'll probably come back over to this bigger pond and see if I can't have a better shot at them then. Made it down to the other little small pond down here. The wind's not blowing as bad, which is good for me, not great for the fishing. It's a little bit better than the wind for sure, but my hands could not take it anymore down there. I actually had to take like a minute or 2 to warm them up because they were turning like almost purple. They were getting so cold. Am I on? What is going on? I got some leaves or something. I think I have one. I think it's fish. Yes, sir. That is a fish. We got one, guys. On the blade bait. And I switched it up there. Instead of yo-yoing it, I just decided to do a straight retrieval there. And sure enough, we got our first one of the day. By no means a giant. I know I was talking about when you do get a bite in cold weather, there's a good chance of it being a monster. This is not one of those cases. This is this is a pretty small little fish right here, but I will take this over nothing. Good way to get started, and that knocks the skunk out, and it's time to get back in there and hopefully catch ourselves a nice one. Let's go. I'm glad to see that they're biting the blade bait. I'm gonna go back to that this time. I'm gonna try just straight retrieving this thing like a crankbait. I don't think that's a oh, it is a fish. I was like, I don't think that's a fish. It is. I was like, it feels a little heavy for a leaf, but it wasn't really fighting it at all, and that's a little bit better one. We're moving up the food chain a little bit, not a whole lot, but noticeably. Let me go ahead and get that out of this guy's mouth right there. But they seem to be biting this blade bait pretty dang good. Now it's just time for a big one. I really did not think that was a fish at all right there. I mean, that fish was not fighting even the slightest bit. He was just letting me reel him in like a dead stick or something like that. But thank you for the bite there, little buddy. So one thing that I do want to mention, guys, when it comes to fishing, especially ponds for bass fishing, is any kind of drastic weather changes really affect smaller bodies of water a lot more drastically than a big body of water, because just that water temperature change happens a lot faster. So recently it's been like not crazy cold, like probably like the high 40s, and today like the high I believe is like 35, which is a pretty drastic change for pond fishing conditions. These fish are gonna shut down super easily, so it's gonna make it a lot more difficult to kind of get those bites in a smaller body of water versus if I were on like a big lake when conditions change like that. So I'm hoping these fish aren't gonna be completely shut down, but the good thing is if I do get a bite, there's a pretty good chance it might be a very big one. And that's one of the huge benefits of fishing this time of year. Some of the biggest fish of the year come when it's cold, because they're all nice and fat, just getting ready for the spring. There's like a certain section of this pond, like right close to the middle, no matter where I cast out here, is just full of leaves. Every time I hit it, I get some kind of like leaf or stick or whatever it might be on my freaking bait. It's kind of annoying. I'm just trying to make some nice long casts, and that is hindering my ability to fish the middle of this pond with this thing. I'm gonna grab my stuff and walk down to the other end of this pond really quick. There's one. There's a fish right there. Got him on the yo-yo. Ah, another small one. I think this might be the best one yet so far. It's probably pretty close in size to that last fish I caught. I just want that big bite, guys. Man, I'm just gonna have to wean through these little small ones, I suppose. But I'm glad to see that they are in fact biting this thing, like I said on the last fish or so. But this guy got himself in a situation right here. He's got his mouth pinned shut with these hooks. They're like as far apart as they possibly can be. That was a little tough to get out of there, but there she goes. And that is fish number 3. Let me go ahead and put this sucker right back on in there. There she goes. Patience is the name of the game when it comes to fishing this time of year. You just gotta have a ton of patience when you're fishing. Fish slow, fish meticulously, and just hope and pray that big bite comes, because I promise you guys, this is when you get bit by 10+ pounders. If it's gonna happen, this is one of the best times of year to do it. Oh, I think I might have just gotten bit right there. It's kind of hard to tell. Might have been a stick. There we go. I felt that one. Yeah, that fish clobbered it right there. And that's definitely our best one so far of the day. That fish completely inhaled that blade bait. Let's go. That is more like it. Finally, a semi-respectable fish. All the other ones that I've caught have been ultimate little titty biters, but this guy inhaled that thing. That's how you want them to eat it. And I'm gonna need some pliers to get that sucker out of there. Definitely just gonna take my time getting this hook out of there because I don't want to hurt this fish at all. But there we go. Got it out of there without too much of a hassle. This guy's bleeding just a tad bit right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and rush him back in the water. But this is easily our best fish so far, and he absolutely inhaled that bait. And once again, on that yo-yo retrieve, seems like they're liking the blade bait. I'm pretty sure every fish we've caught today has just gotten a little bit bigger each time, which is a good trend to see. Oh, on the drop right there. He ate it right away. I hit him right on the head. And that's fish number 5. And unfortunately, the size of this one is trending downward, but that fish was right there instantly. Like, I didn't even have to do anything to catch that guy. Love when that happens. Unfortunately, it wasn't a 10-pounder that happened to, but hey, I'll take these little guys all stinking day as long as I'm catching fish. There you go. Fish number 6. Right there next to the bank. I was really gonna pull that bait out of the water on that rip right there, but this guy hit it last second. And sure enough, he got him stuck pretty good right there. Got 2 hooks in him. But, you know, I'll take it. Just come on now. If I could just get that better bite, I would be a happy man. Oh, but I'll take 6 fish on a cold day like this. That might be a fish. If it is, it's small. I can't tell. Oh, yeah, it is. Well, we finally got one in the big pond. And no surprise here, it is micro. Smallest one of the day. Just a tiny little guy right there, but a fat little son of a gun. Well, unfortunately, guys, it did not go as planned. You know, we caught them. I caught a handful of them. I think I caught like 6 or 7, something like that, but they all were on the small side. That just sucks. I really wish I could have got myself a nice sized bass in there. I know they're in there. I've caught a 5-pounder in there. I've caught some 3s. But anyways, it was fun. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the merch. But as always, bassing is a passion. Peace.